Hi everyone, I am Martina from the B Factory, and today with us we have Eleonora Marini, who is the web marketing communication specialist at Rifo. Welcome, Eleonora.
Hi, hello to everyone.
Eleonora, could you please present what Rifo is actually doing in the world of sustainable fashion, and what is your job at Rifo?
So my name is Eleonora and I work in the communication team of Rifo. We are a small company. Actually, we are a B Corp and we are a B Corp from 2020. But we were born in 2017 from a crowdfunding. So we really faced many steps until now, because we were just a crowdfunding, then a startup. Now we are growing as a team. We are 10, maybe we will be 15 in some months, and we are a fashion brand. Our mission, our main objective is to create a clothing collection made with recycled and sustainable material. So we are based for this reason in Prato, which is our hometown, and most of all an important textile district, where the recycling process and the recycling of old clothes, mainly cashmere and wool, is a tradition that dates back 100 years almost, so it's very old. In the moment that Niccolò Cipriani, which is the founder of Rifo, realized that this tradition, yes, was very old, very, structured in Prato, but at the same time, not every time valued in the right way, because sometimes people prefer to say that it was virgin material and not recycled, because the sustainability of the recycled material was not considered as an important thing. So our mission is to value those material, and the fact that they are local. So our company tries to produce everything really from the yarn to the production of our clothing, 0 miles. We say that everything is made in 30 kilometers from our offices. So that's who we are, and I hope.
That's absolutely amazing. And as you mentioned, you're recently born and you're growing as a business, but the core vision about sustainability started from the early scratch. So I'd like to ask you, when you decided to become a B Corp, what really motivated you and how it has changed your way of doing business?
Actually, I was thinking about it, and the most easy answer is that maybe we were almost born as a B Corp, even if we didn't have a certification, because the reality is that we always tried to be transparent, and our goal from the beginning has been not only have an economic profit with our business, but also a social and environmental impact. So it's like being a B Corp is sort of our DNA. At the same time, it has been a really positive challenge, something that pushes you to do better, because starting the process for being certificate requires to look and to focus on some aspect that maybe you weren't looking in your company. So it's a continuous challenge, and something that we really like it, and something that we are proud of
Let's say that you are learning together with the community, and that's also another aspect, because the B Corp certification is an ongoing certification. So it's like more a process of growth rather than a certification that stops there and you don't have to worry anymore about it. So I like to ask you, you mentioned already that becoming B Corp really means to make a lot of effort what concerns the measurement, the transparency. But speaking about measurements and transparency, which was the biggest challenge you faced, and how have you tackled it?
Yeah, maybe yes, it is not really related to measurement, because as I was saying, we always try to communicate our sustainability with numbers, because it's the most effective way you can have, even with people, even to make your communication real and understandable from everyone. Maybe the main challenge is to really look at your company and making a step as a corporate vision. Structure your company. So this is a challenge we are facing, because as I was saying, we are growing, so we have to. And maybe being a B Corp makes you think about it in a more deep way.
Eleonora, I'd like to ask you even more about your commitment to circular economy, because transparency, traceability also applies differently to the circular economy and circular fashion. And how do you approach these challenges you may face?
Yeah, being a circular brand actually is something very hard, because we always have to face really some challenges to remain sustainable, and we have to make choices every day. One thing that affects actually the fact of being circular, so to use only the recycled material, is the fact of creating a supply chain, not only creating, but to be able to look and to recognize transparent supply chain. And also one of the big challenges and something that would really push circular economy and circular fashion on a step forward would be the fact of considering the waste you start, so the clothes that you are disposing and that you are throwing away, not as been something to be thrown away, but as a material, something that can be transformed in some other thing. So that would be very important, even from the point of view of the law.
And how do you see in the next future, speaking about the fashion industry widely, the B certification evolvements? Do you see the B Corp certification as an industry standard, or do you think companies will go towards circular fashion, or do you see the two things going on together?
Now there is so much attention about sustainability. Many companies are moving through in this direction. There are many companies using recycled materials. So actually, and we see it because the request of this material is really very high. We see it with our providers. The thing that we think that is very important is that is not enough. It's not enough using sustainable material that can be organic, recycled. wherever can have a lower impact on the environment. It is important to change your as a business, as a company, your production model, because yes, you can use the recycled material, but then if everything is made on a huge scale, and so you maybe will produce too much, you will overproduct, and then you have to dispose and maybe destruct what you created. This can have a really bad impact on the planet, even if you use recycled material, which still have an impact. I mean, we agree on the fact that the less polluting thing that you can do is buying nothing. But at the same time, as a B Corp and as companies, we need to have the impact, the more positive impact that possible.
You also, as we all know, B Corp is really about regenerative business, so giving back more than what you take. And do you think that this approach to become, let's say, business positive is also something that can support companies becoming circular fashion companies, let's say?
Yes, of course, because if you are doing something in, the circular economy universe, you start from the fact that someone else produced your material. No, the old sweater you are starting from it was produced from someone else. So of course, you are taking advantage of something that was made from someone else, and at the same time, you have always to think that yes, okay, you can produce your clothing collection, but the important thing is to remain attached and to listen to a real request from the market, because I think that this is the only way we can give more to give something more to people, and at the same time be conscious about the things that we are doing to our environment if we continue producing without thinking.
Of course, let's say if you produce a double, then you can actually sell, then it can be circular, but it's not regenerative anymore. So the impact wouldn't be positive, it would still be negative because you are not giving value, you are taking, extracting value, let's say.
Yeah, exactly.
So Eleonora, here there are the difficult questions, let's say. The first one is a little bit easier, is about the 3 best practices you would like to share with other fashion companies, and whatever it may be, also about speaking about organizational culture, the things you have learned throughout the B Corp process or being a circular business.
Yeah, I mostly think about our producers, and so our suppliers, the artisans, the people that produces our sweaters and our clothes. And I think that it's so important not having a production here, of course, because as I was saying, we are working with many local small enterprises. I think that growing, while we grow, it's very important to have the best relation you can have with them. So a close relation, because likely we are here, so we can really visit them every day, but not only to check if they are working as we said, or being some way pretending something from them. The important thing is to create relation. So in this way, I mean, we can be flexible, and so tomorrow we can help each other. I mean, because being a sustainable brand that doesn't want to produce in a large scale, it means that at some point you will need the flexibility of people who are working with you. As a second best practice, which is very related, I could say, not to not to look for the lowest price. You have to value the artisans, and so to value their work, the fact that they are doing it in a small reality, in a small company. And as we always say to people who are saying, yes, it's sustainable, but it's not affordable. Okay, but we have to exit the logic of fast fashion. I mean, the reason why we bought a t-shirt for €5 is that someone else paid for them. So they are not fair prices. And as we say to our customers, to understand this point is important in the same way that we understand it with the productions. As a third best practice,
we're asking you so many best practices, but I'm learning a lot, so amazing.
Okay, thank you. Now, as a third point, I would say that it's very important to have an horizontal structure, even from an intern point of view, so inside the team. So in this way, everyone, especially in a small reality like us, can really feel part of the project and be involved in something that is growing. So this is very, very important, and something that gives you a lot of satisfaction as part of the team. I mean,
I know, because we are actually doing the same thing, and we call it a flat organization.
Yeah,
we are all reading a book about tile organization, and it's all about that, trying to give people their responsibility, try to involve them in setting their own goals, in order that they can feel really as part of the final result. They are contributing actively to what the company is creating and what it's doing.
And also being, aware of the other people task. For example, I work in the communication team, but I think it's very important to know what happens, for example, in the shipment, in the e-commerce shipment team, in the customer service as well, of course, in the production team, and in the product development. Yes, having our own goals, but at the same time being aware of what is happening in the company.
Absolutely. You need to be, let's say, coordinated, otherwise you are working only on your own. I totally agree. And I would like also to ask you, as you mentioned the prices, how do you manage to communicate to your customers this philosophy? And if it's really easy, or is it that difficult to say that sustainable fashion has a cost, and if it's true, or maybe also that sustainable fashion doesn't cost that much?
No, it's very hard. It's something very hard to explain. But at the same time, I can say that there are two kind of people, and you can see in the Facebook comments that sometimes they are managing the communication between them. There is someone that is not ready to understand a fair price for a sweater, and at the same time there is someone saying yes, but fast fashion is not sustainable for the world and for people. You should be aware of it. So let's say we are hopeful something is changing. At the same time, from a price point of view, I can say that we are trying to, from our policy, we do not do sales. So we refuse everything that is Black Friday sales. Because they are not seasonal anymore. The problem is this, that they are constant. We believe in fair prices all over the year. This is kind of our motto. What we do to keep our prices in some period a little lower, but at the same time respecting our sustainability from a production point of view, is that we do pre-sales. So there is like we are collecting the orders from people. The item is online, you can buy it, but you will receive it in 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks. And this is an effort we ask to people, to our customers, but at the same time is something that can help people to have a little discount, but is our way to produce, to try to produce only what's needed. So only what the market demands.
That's what you were saying also before. So I totally understand.
Yeah, it's very important to, being sustainable from the point of view of the materials, but at the same time from a production point of view. And this is a real challenge for us, because it's really not easy. It's something that we are structuring as an internal process, but we are happy from the moment. The response from people is positive, we can say. And we think that the people who are buying Grifols, they are okay. They can wait for 1 week, 2 weeks to receive their order, because maybe even as a consumer,
believe in the entire mindset and the entire value you're sharing with them. Other question, the tough one, is 3 things you have learned to avoid becoming a B Corp, and why?
Yeah, so the 3 things we've learned, I would say the first one, which is the most important maybe, is to be transparent, also admitting our limit as a company. So telling and making storytelling even on this aspect to people about which are the doubts we are facing, which are the challenges, which are the things that we've asked ourselves as a fashion and sustainable brand. And so the continued communication with people, maybe asking them with forms, with all the instruments we have, ask them their opinion about it. So we thought that this is the best solution we can face, because as I was saying, being a sustainable brand is something very hard. It's something that really puts you in a delicate situation. You have to make choices and to always choose the best solution that maybe is not always the perfect one. So being transparent and sharing with people our doubts, our pass. So this is the most important one, I will say. If you want other example, I would mention once again the things of being flexible with our artisans to not to have a real to look at the market from the real demand point of view.
That's something I think makes the new and upcoming sustainable brands really at the top for what concerns transparency and really engaging with their customers and try to say, okay, what's your doubt? That's my doubt. And I'm transparent with you, because what I noticed is that really structured brands find it difficult to be that transparent because they are scared of losing clients, the competition. And that's something I noticed, that new brands are no way more transparent with their customers. They are using a different approach. I mean, brands that are focused on sustainability, of course, as a key pillar.
Yeah, and I can understand that it's very hard for a business that is born in another period with another model that is doing other thing beside being sustainable and everything. It's very easy for us because we are born this way, as I was saying at the beginning of our conversation. So it's not easy, but for us it's kind of easy because it's like we always done that. We are just looking for new ways to do it and to ask people what they want, because the thing is asking what would you like to find on the market, and not to create some needs that are imposed from the top, and they don't really they are not born from the bottom, from people.
Bello. Last question and we are done. What changes would you like to see in the fashion industry in the next few years?
As a fashion and sustainable brand, we are not considering our competitor as competitors. So I think that we are part of an environment. We are part of the change, and this is the way we should feel. At the same time, we can see that there is so much attention about sustainability, so even big brands are now facing this need from the market, and this is very positive. I mean, it's a good thing. What we would like to see is that those sustainable tests they are doing, I would like to see that they are not only on the 10% of their collection, so not just to communicate it, but maybe in the 90 or 100% of the collection. So this is the step that even big companies and fashion industry in general should do to become really sustainable and to have an honest communication with the clients. And this is what I would like to see in the future.
We always end up speaking about transparency. I totally agree. Yeah. I work in this field as well, so I completely understand. Thank you, Leonora. You shared with us a lot of great insights about circular fashion and what Refo is doing.
Thank you for this opportunity. And it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure to have this really honest exchange of ideas and vision. And yeah, thank you.
Let's see for the next one.
Yeah, pleasure.